Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, and I want to welcome you, my beautiful people, to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks here, and today we're going to be talking about practicing mindful and staying present and focusing on our goal. And today I want to thank you all for just embarking on our journey and into the heart of mindfulness. And today we have a very special guest, and I can't even call him a guest because it's home for him. It's now home for him. That is Dr. Will Washington, our health and psychologist and holistic specialists and all of those good things. What's going on?
I'm so happy to be no longer outside. I got a guest room. This is nice. I like having the guest room. Thank you. It was cold outside,
It
so
was
I'm just happy to be warm.
You didn't like the guest room? At least I got your name on
No, the guest room was great. Yeah, it was a snuggie in there. It was really peaceful. It was very peaceful.
All right, so today's topic, we're talking about mindfulness. We're talking about practicing mindfulness, staying present and focused on your goals. And I'm kind of excited for this topic is because not only we talked about it before, and even in some of the conversations that we've already had, we talk about mindfulness, those things. But I'm glad that we're talking about more on focusing on goals because I got a whole bunch of questions for you, right?
You have some of the best questions I've heard this whole year. I was like, let me get my question brain on. You
Yeah,
got it.
because we got to, we had to allow these people to be able to tap their brains in. And
Yes.
I just like seriously to understand because there's a lot of questions that a lot of us have and that don't know how to ask the questions, don't know the
Yeah.
lingo of anything, for it. And it's not because we don't even know how to do it. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? We don't know
Yeah.
the correct way or even going into the correct way to even understanding what self-love is or how it applies to our life and like really breaking it down. So I thank you for just joining me on this journey and just, coming in as part of the team and doing the work with me.
And I'm so happy that you chose me too, because the truth is that it's hard to find healers with the same purpose
Yeah.
and alignment. And so I'm glad that we can see each other's dreams together and we can align. And I think that's what makes this podcast and this talk show so amazing, is because you really not only do the work, but you want to show and give the work to the people.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to really be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's do this. We can keep talking into each other, but now we want to be able to, kind of give you guys some tools and all of those good things so you can be able to, to get where we at. And then, because we still got a lot of ways to go, but at least get to where we at, to where you can kind of cultivate your own mindfulness in your own way. Just take a little bit from us. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about understanding what mindfulness is. All right. It's your girl, guys. Nyomi Banks here on this Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Dr. Will with the Washington Wellness Institute. Here at the Institute, we focus on so many different things, but our biggest focus is modernizing how we take mental illness into holistic wellness and making healing a lifestyle. So if you're interested in taking the next steps, whether it's a clinician, community member, or simply just a friend, Sign up today for a 15-minute consultation. You won't regret it. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, my beautiful people. Well, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And I'm here with Dr. Will. Hey, you ready for this conversation?
I am aligned and ready.
I know that's right. All right, today we're talking about practicing mindfulness and staying focused. Yes.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Present, yes. So usually before we get our topic going, we usually do a very calming and guided breathing exercise before we truly get into today's topic. And I want to try something new today. All right. So even though we're going to do this, first I want everybody to get comfortable and seated in your position with your feet flat on the floor, your palms resting in your hands or your thighs. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to feel comfortable. All right, let's begin. I want you to inhale deeply through your nose, filling your lungs with air. I want you to hold on for a brief moment. Now exhale slowly and completely, releasing any tension or stress. I want you to feel your body relaxing with each breath. Now, as you continue to breathe at your own pace, I want you to bring awareness to the present moment and feel the weight of your body grounding you to the earth. I want you to notice any sensation within your body without judgment, just simply observing. Take a deep breath in, drawing in peace and clarity. And I want you to exhale any distractions or worries that may be clouding your mind. With each breath, create space for insights and intuition to flow freely. Now envision a bright light at the center of your being, radiating warmth and wisdom. And with each inhale, allow this light to expand and illuminate your mind and spirit, and feel a sense of calm and serenity in you. Take one final deep breath in, embracing this moment of stillness and inner connection, and exhale slowly, carrying this sense of present and openness with you as you move forward. So when you are ready, gently open your eyes and carry this feeling of mindfulness throughout your day. You are grounded, you are centered, and open to the insights that await. All right, my beautiful people. So if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, and you're wondering what is that, that's something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, is that we do it to center and ground ourselves. So it kind of opens us up and prepare us for receiving whatever it is that we're supposed to receive from this segment, from this show, from this topic, to whatever aligns with you. And since we're now, some of the shows we go visual, right? We go visual. And a lot of times when I'm doing it, and I'm just going to be very honest and I'm speaking, I'm more concentrating on making sure I'm saying the correct words and things that I sort to make sure that this time that I had to kind of feel it for myself. You understand what I'm saying? So I had to go right there with you all. And I don't know about you, Dr. Will, but for me, when I am giving a guided meditation, and sometimes, especially when I know that I'm being filmed or being in this atmosphere, I'm not able to connect the way that I would like to connect, especially knowing some of the words that I've chosen to be able to, to bring out. So it's like it's
Yeah.
giving me more of a genuine connection, even though it is a genuine connection.
Yeah, of
It just
course.
makes it more.
It
Um,
allows you to be with us.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Rather than
yes,
for us, we're with us. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Makes sense.
yes, 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 yes. So again, this is what we do Monday through Friday, and this is a part of our self care routine. Even if this is the only time that you're able to do it, at least you're doing it with us.
Yeah. Honestly, one time a week is more than what you did before. And just that intentionality
Yes,
is so real.
yes.
It's so real. One moment can change a whole entire life. So real.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
One
Say
moment.
that. One moment. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this topic in hand that we're going to discuss. I want to get in deep with it. We're talking about
Yeah.
practicing mindfulness and staying present and focused on your goal. And I am truly happy that you are here with me on this journey right here, and
Yeah.
just getting your different perspective of this whole thing. And why I say this is led. So let me come back a little bit on today's conversation that I've been having all day with different people. And this loved one that I have, very gorgeous person, beautiful, very gifted, very talented, but need to learn how to get out of their way. Need to learn how to live in the moment and not so much in the past or in the future. And I thought,
Mm.
when it was so funny when this person called me, I had just finished recording this morning show. And when we was having this conversation and I was, hearing this person out and I was talking to this person and I was like, oh my God, like I really wish that I can send this show over to this person, or better yet, that she can see this live. Because
Right.
like I will really want her to not only just hear me, but also hear
Hmm.
it from someone else. Because my whole thing is that I would love for people to see things in a different perspective. Meaning
Mm.
that it was one thing that she kept saying, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yes,
Ugh.
yes, it is
Ugh.
what it is. And in our conversation, beautiful, intelligent, when I say intelligent, beautiful, heart, biggest goal, everything. And when you hear
Mm.
that, it sounds like a sigh of defeat, right? And it was like in that
Yeah.
moment, you want to take that person and bring them right here now and just take them,
Hmm.
there. But what I've learned is that that's not for me to control. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's not for me to do any of that. But I was just thinking about the timing. And we talked about even before we started the show,
Right. We did.
in our conversation about the show that I did on Thursday with Mo the
Hmm.
Goddess. And I think, because I'm very guilty of this as well, is that I will go in the past and I will go in the future, but I don't concentrate as much as I should on living in the moment right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want, because
Yeah.
right now I'm about to jump all the way to a next segment, and I don't want to do that. But I just want to let you know how truly important that you are to this show and that you are to me. You understand? So even
Yes.
our connections, how we doing this, and I
Hmm.
really see us doing some really great things
Yeah.
with this program, with your program, and with others that will come later on,
Yeah.
with and just being in that moment. And I just want to say again, thank you. But I'm ready to dive into this discussion because I got some questions for you, right?
And I'm like, my heart is open, my mind is on fire. So I was like, no holding back, no holding back.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm gonna give you my first simple question is why is it so crucial in achieving personal goals?
Mm, I'll give the short answer and then the in-depth answer. The short answer, it's so important to achieve goals is because it helps reframe and restore the identity that you're trying to achieve. Our goals are reflections of our identity. And it's so important to understand that the small goals that you make, right? They reinforce our individuality. And the in-depth answer is you have to have goals because you live in a society that is teaching you to conform to the mundane expectations that don't have you in mind, in place, or in value. The
Mhm.
society is teaching you what self-worth is based upon you consuming what they give you. So that goal that you're making is for you. It's all goals are personal. And so you have to make sure that when you make your goal, it has to be personal.
You know what that just hit so home for me. Like you really just hit me in my head with that. And oh my goodness. Like really,
Yeah.
like I'm a little
Mhm.
lightheaded right now because I felt that. And
Yeah.
why I said I felt that because that was the very thing that I was thinking this past weekend.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Wow.
It was the very thing that I was thinking this past weekend, meaning that I'm looking at my goals and making sure that these goals were truly aligned for me and what I desired and what I wanted, and not what I deem society would want for me or what I feel that I need validation of my worthiness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And even you saying that, I just think about how many choices you have to make that make you either go more into yourself or out of yourself just to show up,
Mm-hmm.
just to show up. And then you have to make goals,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that's not easy.
No.
Make a genuine goal. I mean, to make a genuine, true goal for
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I think
Mm,
last week we talked about the whys. You know what I'm saying? The why you
mhm,
do, you know. And there was
mhm.
a show that I did last week, and one of the things is it was like, well, what unique, what is the one unique thing about you that helps you with your growth or your thing? And it was me having the the word why. You understand the word
Mhm.
why? Um, And I can be very honest with I say this is that why
Mhm.
can be a blessing and a curse all in one, but it's
Oh,
truly
yes.
up to me in whoever you are
Oh,
to
yeah.
what it's going to be for you. And I guess
Yes.
even with the healing and the self-love journey, this will help you to balance what that why is meant for you in your life. And that's
Yes.
where practicing mindfulness and being in that moment to understand what is your why today and why is it like that for today.
I love that you said that, and I've been practicing mindfulness for over 8 years now, and, people have what they think mindfulness is and how they use mindfulness are 2 different things, and so the way that you are interacting with it is such a proactive approach, and it's actually the way that they want you to be. What you're invoking is the power of curiosity, and
Mm,
that is something that allows the beauty and the blossoming of self to come into a full garden.
mm,
That's the beauty of it.
mm. I like that full garden.
Yeah, you are a full garden.
Ah,
Like your one blossom creates a garden for so many other people around you. And what makes you blossom is one of the biggest questions you can ask, a part of your self-love journey.
mm, mm. Wow, that's deep. Okay, Dr. Will, you really got me over here thinking, like right here, not right now, but like truly. I got a question for you. Let me take you off your game for 1 second. How can
Oh no.
practice mindfulness enhance? How can practicing mindfulness enhance our ability to stay present and focused on our health and our wellness goals?
Mm. So what mindfulness does is that it centers you to notice the irregularities, right, that are happening in your body. Does your stomach feel tighter? Does your chest feel tighter? Are your muscles more stiff? Is your mind unable to be focused? You'll notice these things when you're practicing mindfulness. And what it does is that the body does not lie. So a lot of us talk about like, well, the problem is that they're like, well, my body does these things that it's not supposed to do. No, it's doing that because of something that's happening. So if it doesn't feel regular, that means that your body's trying to maintain itself, and that's the only way it knows how to do it. So when you feel that discomfort, when you notice that shift, when you can't really focus, when you can't really dig deep inside, there's something going on with your body that you even may need to detox, address, reset, manage before you can actually sit in the stillness. A lot of us always want to be the river, but you got to learn to be the rock in your own river and let the water
Mm,
pass through you. And that's what mindfulness teaches us is while I'm being still, what is flowing around me? What is moving around me?
mm,
And that is when it comes to health and wellness, your body won't lie to you. When I was going through that meditation that you were just giving me,
mhm,
I sat and I didn't do a regular meditation. I did my mindfulness pose. And when I did my mindfulness pose, I noticed that my lower back was hurting. I
mm,
noticed that my butt cheeks were a little too tight. So I was like, let me adjust my seat because I've been slouching too long. That's what that
mhm,
means. So now I have to take care of my body and sit with a different posture because
mhm,
I've been sitting like this all day. I didn't stretch the way I should have stretched today.
mm,
So now
mm.
I have to be accountable for my body. And so I told my body, like, I'm sorry for not taking care of you today. I'm going to make sure I'll do it during this recording.
Yeah. Mm. That's Next one. In what ways can mindfulness practices help us to overcome distractions and maintain our focus on long-term health objectives?
Ooh, okay. So this is big. In meditation, they tell you to silence your mind, be clear, breathe, don't think about things. That is in mindfulness. No, no, chase the rabbit, chase it, allow it. So if you're closing your eyes, you see that rabbit moving around, chase the rabbit. Like it's like Elmer Fudd, chase the rabbit, and we're gonna actually go through that. So like, where does that rabbit take you? Do you go down the tunnel? Do you go like? And while you're chasing the rabbit, what are the things you notice? What are you seeing as you're chasing it? Because a lot of those things that you see and you experience, they have a symbolic meaning. Like
Mm,
when I did my mindfulness, I saw deer. I was like, well, why am I thinking about deer right now? I'm supposed to be listening to this voice. What am I doing? But I forgot that the symbol of deer is the sign of serenity. So I
mm,
had to look at what is serenity in my life and what does it mean for me, right? The mind takes you places because it makes meaning out of the things that you experience. And so mindfulness is a way to allow that awareness to really come into the front of your life. So you step into the thoughts, you step into the curiosity, you step into those things. And then when you do that, you're going to feel more confident about how you approach your health. And for longevity, you'll be more sensitive as you wake up and you come back. You'll be more willing to be sensitive to the things that do interact with you throughout the day. So you do become more sensitive.
yeah. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this question that I have um for you
Mhm.
after this, because I can truly, like I said, I can go ahead and jump. I'm just using my basketball skills, so I have to slow it down.
All-star. All-star. You an all-star. I knew you
I
all-star.
can just really just jump. I just like no, no, like slow down. Let's walk. Let's walk. So let's go to the next question. And why I want to do this, I want to make sure we get these questions because in the next segment, I'm going to open it up so we can kind of share some things. So kind of
Of course.
experiences that we have, because it's something that you mentioned early from one of the questions about even our body tells us and kind
Mhm.
of lets us know. And I want to share a story with this weekend. I think I shared a little bit with you in text this weekend what was going on with me.
Uh-huh.
But this, like when I tell you, you said it before this, so like this. it's just aligned, like all
Mm.
just all day. This is just everything just
Yeah.
been aligned. And even the way that these shows are going this week,
Yes.
even the way that it's going this week is
Wow.
something that I
That's so
started.
great.
Yeah, it's something that I started new on yesterday on Monday, and it was more with the visualization, and I've been able to doing practice and activation, so putting people there, so it's actually giving it a different tone of what I have
Mm.
been giving before. So more of having people really think about what that visualization is and understanding how powerful that tool is and how it can ignite that
Mm.
fire within you. You
Yeah.
understand? Um,
Yeah.
I want to. I mean, I did it Monday and yesterday, and I'm going to do it on Friday's show. But it's like I just want to test it out and see just for myself. How does that work? How does it work for I'm saying
Mhm.
for others. Because for
Yeah.
me, it did take a minute for me to truly understand what visualization was. But then when I got into it and did it, I kind of got addicted to it because I found myself staying in that place in that space.
Mm.
So when I came back
Yes.
to reality, it was like boom, 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 go. But now we need to not run, not sprint, but walk with it.
Uh-huh.
So now in telling people about visualization and all of these other stuff, now we need to be able to teach them how to balance it, to how to use
Yes.
it truly in everyday life, that it
To
doesn't
make it a lifestyle.
healthy.
Yes.
Yes, a lifestyle what is not unhealthy, because we
Yeah.
can easily take something
Mm.
healthy and turn it into an unhealthy moment, because honestly, the world around us is so toxic that it's just
Yeah.
fused in. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So much saturation. There's so
yeah,
much saturation.
yeah,
And you're learning, and you gotta learn to detox your lifestyle sometimes. You do. You have to learn to detox your lifestyle. Not everything can be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Here's another question for you. What roles does self-awareness play in fostering mindfulness and goal-directed behavior in the realm of health
Ooh.
psychology? That's a
Ooh. So this is my ex. This is where I glow. So I have a golden rule. It's my golden rule. I tell this to everybody. With self-awareness comes emotional responsibility. The more you become self-aware of your mind, your body, your spirit, your energies, your frequencies, the more emotionally responsible you must become. There is avoidance, there's space, and then there's rumination. When you're in the middle of space, when you create space, you're recognizing the emotional responsibility that's needed in your life. At that very moment, you have a choice to honor the space that you're in. You can avoid it by being irresponsible towards the emotions it causes, or you can ruminate or have multiple intrusive thoughts over and over again, cycling thoughts, never really resolving the acceptance of the awareness that you have.
mm,
So, with self awareness creates emotional responsibility. And so you have to make space for these emotions to be experienced. Emotions are not meant to be kept, emotions are not meant to be held. Emotions are supposed to be experienced no different than the weight of your own breath.
mm,
So when you think about that, when you hold on to an emotion for too long, it's going to get stale. And where does it stay? Inside of you. So then you can't get it out, and you become that stale energy, that stale mindset, that stale emotion, which is why when I do therapy, we have to dig up those stale emotions because you didn't allow the exhale to happen. So we talk about breathe in with your nose, out with your mouth. We want you to breathe everything out of you. So why aren't emotions treated the same way? And
mm,
so we help create that flow. So with self-awareness comes emotional responsibility. That's, as a health psychologist, when I'm bringing in the silver age of psychology and I'm bringing in this new way of thinking about healing as a lifestyle, your self-awareness is your emotional responsibility as you grow.
Beautiful, doctor. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, here's another one. How can the concept of being present impact our motivation and our commitment to making healthier lifestyle choices?
Hmm. Well, you got to break that down in three ways. First of all, being present, being motivated, and then being willing, right? So being present means that you understand that the moment that you live in has a purpose, has a goal, has a reward, has an incentive, has an investment, and it has a mirror or an identity for you to be seen in. This is where I see myself. This is what I want. I'm not worried about judgment. I'm not worried about what other people say. When you're present, when you're in the zone, all you care about is the moment and you feel it. Everything is aligned, right? And motivation is the incentive of knowing that there's something greater if you stay present in it. Motivation is knowing that if I stay in this moment, I will have it, I will achieve it, I will be it, and nothing can stop that. That is that motivation which creates determination of making you have the will to actually stand through that
Mm,
self-determination, right? And so that present, that motive, and that will, they all align with each other to keep that pressure of being mindful, because mindfulness is definitely the foundation of the beginning of that process.
mm. I like that. I like that. Thank you for these. Actually, I have a lot more questions, but I want to take a break.
Of course.
We get to talking and we just don't take these
It's
breaks.
gonna get it was getting good, right? We're about to jump off. I was ready.
All right, guys. But since we got these first few questions out for Dr. Will, I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to go discuss a little personal experience and insights. All right. This is your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks here on this season of Self Love Podcast, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. William C. Washington, aka Dr. Will, your friendly neighborhood counselor. One of the biggest things that I want to tell you about is that I'm a health psychologist, a licensed professional clinical counselor supervisor, an MDMA assisted therapist, a ketamine assisted therapist, a psychedelic integration prep specialist. I'm a researcher, a mentor, a supervisor, and also an artist. One of the biggest things about Washington Wellness Institute is that I created this to modernize the way that we look into the world. And I hate to say it, but we're finally getting rid of the old ways of thinking. I want to bring in the silver age of psychology. And to do that, I've even created a model called restorative enhancement modality that focuses on motive and purpose to make healing a lifestyle. I want to offer this to you. I want to offer this to the world and to anyone that's ready to learn. So, if you're ready, sign up today. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self Love Podcast, and I am here with Dr. Will from Washington Wellness. Hey,
It's good to see you again. I missed you.
All right, today we're talking about practicing mindfulness and staying present and focused on your goals. And in the first segment, I gave Dr. Will a whole bunch of questions that I asked him, and they were some really, really good questions. Really good questions.
There were some really good questions.
Yeah,
Really good questions.
with some great answers that actually one of them kind of made me dizzy because it knocked me right upside my head. It truly did. So right now I want to I want us, you and I, Dr. Will, to kind of share, our antidotes or our personal stories of mindfulness and how it has impacted our lives. For me, mindfulness has been a beacon during times of stress and helping me to stay anchored to my goals. And the funny thing is that you talked about in one of the questions about our health. And why I'm laughing is because anytime that I'm not aligned or I'm jumping forward or whether I'm jumping back and I'm not balanced, is that my body tends to give me that very triggering thing that you said that our body react to, that my body will literally shut down on me because knowing that you are
Yeah.
jumping you are moving too fast. Um, what I say to people is a lot of times I'm able to be in stillness, and you talked about this before, and I love being in stillness. Now I do. Before,
Mm.
when it was stillness for me, it felt like I wasn't working enough or I wasn't working hard enough, because in society we are taught that we have to continue to be working. Whether it's me working on my self-love and self-care and stuff like that, I tend to
Mm.
make it to where it might feel, I don't want to say a chore, but like an overwhelming feeling. Does that make sense? Where
Yeah. Yeah.
addictive,
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
where the body will shut down on you and just say, excuse my language, sit your ass down. I'm going to sit you down. And
Yes.
that is what, for the past few weeks, that is what my body's been doing with me starting on Friday, which was a
Mm.
message to me anyway, that Friday, the weekend, is my days to replenish. Throughout the week, I've spoken to a lot of people, so there's a lot of energy that has been transforming through me and a lot of people. And I have to be very truthful on, I don't do the needed work that I need to do during the week to
Mm.
cleanse my body of
Yeah.
those energies and cut the connection cord off.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
so, yeah, but remember that high that you talked about, that was it the drunk emotion? Was that it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Being mostly drunk. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So especially after we've had our conversations through these shows and stuff like that, as well as shows that I have on Thursday night, I'm like, I'm high.
Yes. Well, when we get done with our talks, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I got two hands. I'm like, I'm supposed to do something with these hands. I was like, what am I supposed to do with these hands?
Now let me say this, because folks would have like, now what you mean, Dr. Will? What did you using with your hands? I'm just saying, you don't know what to do with your hands, Dr. Will.
I was like, time, like, look, time. I was like, I got time in two hands. Life is happening.
Right. Okay, let's get back on topic. But for me, that has been my thing. So when you said that and that answer, that was like that slapped me in my head, and I understood exactly what that is. But for
Mm.
me, I was able to acknowledge it and understand. And as you said in one of your answers, was that I gave it space. I gave it space to
Mm.
acknowledge that emotions that I was feeling when I was shut down. Instead of me thinking
Yeah.
as, oh my God, I don't have enough time to do this. I really wanted to do this. I didn't go through that. It's like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What is this telling you to do? You were supposed to be replenishing today. So even though I text you and said, my body not trying to allow me to be great today. And it
Right.
was, you wasn't. You're supposed to be laying down. You're supposed to be resting. You're supposed to be replenishing. You're supposed to be taking your spiritual bath. These are things that you're supposed to be doing. And you jumping in high. You trying to block somebody's shot. You trying to pass an assist. You trying to run this
Mm.
dash. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of walking through the park, instead of
Yes.
being in this moment. And I know we've been taught to have blinders on and be so focused, but
Mm-hmm.
we have to remember that in this journey, we have to be aware of our surroundings, meaning that there are lessons, there are messages, there are things that we need to see that can help us in our journey and in our purpose. And if we continue to run, sprint, jump, we will not see them.
Mm.
We're so focused on
Yes.
that and not
Yeah.
looking,
Left and right.
it's so many different things that we can look at that will help to broaden
Mm.
our, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, and me
Yeah.
laying in the bed This weekend was like, okay, so what did you learn? I learned a lot. But let me tell you what I did on Sunday. I got my rest on Friday and
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and on Sunday I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do this course. I'm gonna do this course. As soon as I put those headphones on, I was to push the button to do this course, had printed out my sheets and stuff like that. Migraine came hard.
Mm. You weren't done resting.
No, I was not done.
Mm. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
matter of fact, I wasn't even supposed to be doing that course.
Oh, wow.
No.
Ah.
Yeah.
Body don't lie.
No. No, it doesn't. And so for these past few days, I've been feeling well
Mm.
because I've been doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's great. That's great. And look how obedient you are now. Look. Obedience to the body. I love that.
Man. So
Uh-huh.
when being in that in mindfulness and helping, I understood. I understood what it is that I was supposed to do. I
Mm.
understood what the stillness was. Even though I had to get a few times, I understood what it was.
Yeah.
And I laughed about it and I said, okay, let me go back here.
Mm. That's like how many lessons do you want to learn today?
Man, I'm
Right?
so hard headed though. I'm just
That's great. Ah.
it's
But we talked about that though. But we talked about that though before we got on here. We're talking about how no more running the marathon. You can't sprint a marathon. You have to walk a marathon. You have
yes,
to walk the marathon. You can't sprint the marathon anymore. Mindfulness needs you to walk the marathon.
yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's so nice. Yeah. Wow, that's an amazing story. That's an amazing story. Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot of lessons in that story.
Well, I'm glad you did. So now you have to top that one. You have to top that.
You know, so I definitely can't top that, but I will say that funny enough, because we've all suffered from the pandemic, I have had every strain of COVID that has ever came out. Every strain. That the alpha, the beta, the gamma, the Omarion virus, I've had every strain of COVID. And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" I had COVID before it was even cool. Like I had it before it was. I had it when it was like in that like we don't know what this is thing. That
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm like, so I'm just getting every strain. And the crazy part is that what COVID did to me, what that virus did to me was it actually made me recognize my weaknesses in my body. I had pain here. I had pain in my joints where I know I don't work out at. All the issues I had were things that I never took care of. Instead,
Mm,
I would take care of it. I would take care of it. I would deal with it. And so for the first time in my life, I had an actual migraine. For the first time, I had so much rumination and thinking about how things I always had those that I had hallucinations. I was
mm,
having hallucinations. And like so like I'm starting to have like all these symptoms that I would not have. And so every time I had it, I'm like, well, let me find out what I've been dealing with this time.
right.
And every time I had it, I would find something more that I was not doing for myself. So
Mm,
then I actually started doing the things and kept adding on to it. And now I'm consistently doing it. But before, well, I was just like, maybe it's just a fluke. And then I had it again. I was like, okay, let me take it more seriously. Okay, I need to take it more seriously. And I kept realizing, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff wrong with my body. There's a lot. I gotta stop this because I can't keep having the virus and make me realize that I'm doing something. And so I had to sit and realize that my body is not as strong as my mind.
yeah.
My body is not as strong as my mind. My body is resilient,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that it's going to get me through things. It's
Mm,
it's going to help me stabilize. But stabilize does not mean cure,
mm,
right? And
mm,
so I need to be more protective of what my body needs from me. And
mm,
so I've been able to change the way that I look at how I look at my body because I realize my body is its own entity. My
mm,
mind has its own world, but my body has its own world too. And they happen to be just stuck together right now. And
right.
so my spirit's thing that's kind of rounding it all out, right? Filling in the cracks. But in my heart is always a witness to it all. So it's one of those things where my mind is chasing the memory, my body, it keeps the score, as they say, and my heart is learning how to speak with both. And so
Mm,
I'm just really trying to learn how to speak in a way that honors both sides of my mind and my body. And my heart is on the bridge, holding it all together. And so I'm trying to keep the spirit to keep me going. But yeah, I had to learn that I was not taking care of myself, and it took an extreme illness to stop me, right? To stop me from doing what I kept just overlooking or underestimating in myself. I would overlook these things because my mind was so fierce. 'Cause my mind is very strong.
hmm.
And so I had to let go and be like, no, my mind is, just because it's strong doesn't mean it's right. It's a juggernaut,
Right.
but it
Mm,
doesn't mean it needs to keep running through these walls.
yeah.
That's not what I'm here for. So I had to learn to be more sensitive with myself. And now I'm becoming more sensitive. I'm realizing that I have to walk this marathon.
Yeah.
I can't sprint this marathon anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to wait till illness happens for me to stop myself. And listen, I can't do that anymore. I can't.
Wow. Yeah. As you speak about COVID, like I had COVID too before we even got it over here in the United States before they can really, and I kept going to the doctor. I was shut down all of half of
Mhm.
December and all of January.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the doctor and I said, I think I got, she, no, you don't. You don't have it. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you this, whatever. Like I had the flu, a shot, everything under the moon.
Mm.
And then come to find out I did have COVID. Like I thought I was going to die. Like I was crawling,
Yes.
hallucinating, as you said,
Yes.
hallucinating, like chills, like everything
Yes.
possible. Just
I wrote my death letter. I wrote my death letter because I was like, because I was like, this is it for me. So I started writing down like, I want them to have these instruments I have. I want them to have my computer. Still don't touch my stuff on this. I was like, I was writing it, and I'm telling you, I don't recommend that for people to write it. But if you ever do decide to do that,
mhm.
recognize how much you have, how much you don't have, how much useless stuff you hold on to. And I was like, I gotta let all this go. So once I got better, I was throwing stuff away. I was like, no, this got to go. I'm taking my Hawaiian shirt from 2007. I'm throwing this away. I can buy a new Hawaiian shirt. Like I'm just, it makes you realize
Yeah.
what we clutter ourselves in our lives into.
Yes. 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 But for me, that allowed me to have my second awakening.
Ooh, yeah,
Yes, and what I mean, I had a
yeah.
second awakening. It was the early morning of the day that Kobe Bryant had passed away.
Oh,
And I remember getting up. I remember something just woke me up, and I just started cleaning. I just started cleaning my room and my closet. And before I knew it, I just saw a flash movie of my life just went past, and all could hear me say in the middle of the night is, "Oh, that's what that was for." Laughing, crying, like going through several different emotions
mm,
as I'm watching this movie of my life just awakening. And it was different from my first spiritual awakening. This was so
mm,
intense. It was so
yeah,
like it was not scary, scary. It wasn't that. It was just like, oh shit, this different.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like, oh, this is it.
It's that flip. Yeah, it was that
Yeah,
flip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is
Mm,
and it was yeah, it was, and I can feel it now. Even talking about it now, I can feel it now. Um, and why I'm
mm,
smiling right now because even let's go back a little bit. The young lady that I had an interview with on Thursday, she inspired me so much that I woke up I woke up Monday morning, early in the morning, and something said, write it, write it. And I'm like,
mm,
write it, write it. Mind you, I've been wanting to write a book for a very, very long time, even though I have my Good Morning, My Sexy People. That's more of a journal type of book for other people.
mhm,
And in this young lady book, she had said that it took her a minute to have the courage to write the book is because she didn't feel like her story was worthy enough to be written or for anybody to read it. And that was the first thing that I read that I connected with,
Mm.
because I've always felt like I had to have this grand ending to my story to be able to write that book. And even though I have several different
Mm.
books in my head of my life story, I still didn't believe or think that it was worthy enough for me to start to write.
Right.
You understand that?
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you about this dream that I had. That's another thing that I want to tell you. I had this dream on Friday night going into Saturday morning. And I had these dreams about spiders.
Mm.
Yes, a
Interesting.
whole bunch of spiders.
Yeah.
Whole bunch
Mm.
of spiders.
That's scary, and also, yeah, that's a lot. But do you know what kind of spiders they were?
They were all different kinds of spiders. They were all
Mm.
different types of spiders. And I
Mm.
should have brought the paper what I had written down on it because, of course, I looked it up. I looked up what it was, with the spider meaning spiritually when you see it in your dream,
Yeah.
and all of those other things. And there were several
Yeah.
different things that, I could have took from that.
Yeah.
But what I took from that is that there was time for me to unleash a lot of things that I have been storing or having up. So I didn't look at it as a
Mhm.
bad omen.
Lessons.
I
The lessons, yeah, because
Yes,
spiders represent lessons, and
yes,
so if you don't learn the lessons, you repeat.
yes, yes.
Mm.
And so for that, I looked at it as, okay, these are moments, just like we have the mindfulness in my dreams, is where there's a lot of messages and downloads come to me, like in rapid.
Mm.
And a lot of times, and I need to do better at this, is get up in the morning because I do have a dream book that's next to my bed that I need to write those dreams down or what they are.
Mhm.
But for this one, it was kind of weird because it was long and those spiders were there for a long time, and it wasn't like I was scared of them. It was just like an infestive amount of spiders that was around me, and it was a
Mhm.
baby there. I don't know who baby it was. It was a baby there, and I was trying to get it off of the baby, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it was like I was kind of like, is this something new? Before I
Yeah.
start looking up, is the baby something new that I have coming, and that I need to,
Mm.
get all of the unnecessary things around, and clear that out, or clean that out. But these are things that was happening with me throughout the weekend. Like I've had several different
Mhm.
um dreams that was boom, because I was still. I was literally still this weekend, except for um Sunday. And then I had to
Yeah.
get back into bed. And then it had me watching some other stuff that I'll tell you about on a later date. But
Yeah.
yeah, I went down this rabbit hole on something else. Like I had to get my fix of low vibration. Sometimes we need a little low vibrational stuff.
Right. Right. Just real quick. Just to remind ourselves real quick. You're right.
Right. I had to get a little low vibrational stuff.
Love that. You gotta hit both. Both
Yeah,
matter.
you
Both
have
matter.
to.
Both matter. Both matter.
And you, Naomi, really? Are you seriously? I'm telling you, I'm.
Mhm.
It's gonna get better. It's going to get better in time, but it's knowing that that's for my
Uh-huh.
entertainment purposes.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Life is real. Life be lifing.
And be
Nobody
like,
is shame.
right? But I like to watch other people life.
Right. Then you're like, oh, oh, like, oh, grab my pearls.
Right. All right, so let's do this. Let's take
Oh,
a quick break, and then when we come back, we
yeah.
gonna wrap it up with some stuff. All right, it's your girl, you got it. Nami Mix here on the Season of Self Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi and Dr, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Naomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Naomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Naomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the goddess Naomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book. Well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People. Where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to asknaomi.com and hit shop. Listen. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Naomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. I need to do another commercial. That commercial needs to be a little bit updated, right? Right, yeah.
I was like, you've had so much growth. I was like, let them know, because you've been doing your work. Let's do it.
I have. Well, welcome back. We have Dr. Will with us today, and we're talking about practicing mindfulness and staying present and focused on our goals. And it has been a truly amazing show today. I learned a lot. I was tapped on my head a little bit. You know, got a little bump on my head to let me be aware and know,
oh my God. Look, we can keep doing that to each other, because every time we talk with each other, there's always something I have to write down. I'm like, I had to get a new journal for this. So I was like, let me get a new journal for this.
Right. But you know what this is? This is that still relationship.
Oh, see, they I don't know if they watched that episode. I don't know if they know, but this is definitely a still relationship.
See, that's that still relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was something that I had said. I had said this morning in a conversation that I had with my beautiful loved one, and I had said that from now on, I'm going to intentionally be open for still relationships, meaning that I'm no longer, and I'm sorry, I'm no longer accepting anything lesser, meaning that I've already been in those moments with those different relationships in all of those categories. And not that, and I still have those, and they are great. But understanding what my purpose is and what is needed of me is that I have to go in now intentionally being open of receiving relationships that are not only grounding for me, but will also allow me to grow and help others grow with that we are both aligned in the same movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Say that.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, I know I gotta ask you, you know, being in a still relationship, that means that metal is gonna go through the fire.
Yeah.
And what is the fire for you to make sure you know that they are truly going through their fire? How do you know when they're going through their fire with you? How do you know?
You know, for me, even in your description of what you said when you were speaking about the categories in that topic, and as you were speaking, I was putting people in those different categories and where they fit in. And I do have someone that's been in my life for a long time that is my steal. You know what I'm saying? It has been my steal. But let me say this, it has been, this person is my steal. This person is my romantic relationship. It's all of these different things.
Yeah. So many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fertility.
Right. But this person has been a steal for me. And I didn't quite understand how to describe it. Because I used to always say, this
Mm.
is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we
Yeah.
wasn't together in a relationship, I know this person will continue to be in my life as I would in his, and we can, kind of
Hmm.
go from
And
there.
have that
Yeah,
fluidity.
we've
Hmm.
grown together. We've protected each other. We spoke into each other. You know what I'm saying? We've held each
Yeah.
other and allowed each other to have that moment and cry with you. And so let me say this. When you spoke about having a still relationship, I didn't think it was anything higher than what him and I had, meaning him and I have, meaning that
Mhm.
I thought, well, maybe I would have to be in a whole nother relationship, thinking more of a lover's type of thing. When that's not
Yeah.
what that means.
Mm-mm.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? And that
Hmm.
it can be something totally different, and it doesn't have to be a sexual connection or a relationship in that sort. We can love each other because
Exactly.
I have love for you. I love you, and I just met you not too long ago. But I
Right.
love the way that you think. I love your heart to where you want to go with it. That
Hmm.
makes me excited to be able to conversate and talk with you, and can't wait to meet and hug you and be in your
Right.
intimacy, space. And that's for
Mm.
me is what I want. You know what I'm saying? What I desire in my relationship. So when I say intention,
Mm.
what I'm intentionally be open to where I don't have any fear of sharing my energy space with you. You understand what
Yes.
I'm saying? Because
Yes. There's no depletion. There's no. You're not spending energy to be present with me.
yes,
You're actually becoming more content with your energy because of
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. So beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. And I honestly, I can maybe think there may be two people
Hmm.
maybe in my life that I can say that. Oh yeah, those are still, and you're definitely one of them. And it's unique because I've never I've never taken it like when I created that mindset and created that, there are so many people that I wanted to be still with me, but they just didn't have it because there's always a cost. There's
Yeah.
always a cost. Why does it have to be a cost to be with them? And when I have goals, when I talk about having goals, they don't make me more focused. They don't make me less focused. They make me not even think about. I'm like, oh, I am the goal.
Hmm.
They help me realize that I am the goal.
Hmm.
And that's great when you have that person that makes you internalize
Yeah.
your greatest self.
Yeah.
Not the wrongness, not the wrongdoing, not the negativity. They truly embellish and
Yeah.
they perform and they create the realness of who you've always been.
Yeah.
And that is something that there's no energy being spent.
No.
That's why if we ever record something, I'm like, tell me what time. Okay. Tell me. Look, look, I'm not gonna lose a wrinkle on this. I'm not gonna do that, you know? And so it could because I know that our relationship is timeless.
Yeah.
It's timeless. And that's something that we always continue doing. And
Yeah.
and I think that is when I can see the past, present, and future of you at the same time.
Mm.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Mm. Thank you for that. Thank you. Really, thank you for that. It's a lot that I've learned from you out of these past few weeks that we've had these conversations and talk. And like I said, from the very first time that we sat on Zoom and we talked, and I was like, okay, yeah, okay. And I remember
Mhm.
speaking to my sister and having that conversation with her, and even in when we first did our show, and then we did you came in on Ask Naomi, and it was just like
Mhm.
this. It felt like butter. I was just smooth
Yeah.
like butter. There was like no one was trying. We were allowed to be who we are in that
Yes.
moment. You wasn't trying to be anything else but who Dr. Will is. I didn't put on a mask or a face to be something different,
Mhm.
and that felt good. you know
Right.
uh, that's something that I seen in my conversation with Mo the goddess, with her
Yeah.
as well.
I
It was
loved your pace. I
Thank
love
you.
your pacing. You both pace so well together. I love that.
It was, because the thing is that as she was talking, I was learning. I was, I was,
Hmm.
I was, I was there learning. And even after that, she was like, I've learned so much from you. And I'm like, no, girl, I've learned a hell of a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? And
But that's a
it,
steel friend, right? That's a
yes,
steel friend. That's a steel friend. That's how
yes,
you know.
that's
Hmm.
how you know. And it wasn't a draining
Mm.
feeling. It wasn't any of that. And that's why I'm excited. I'm true. See, this is where I have to keep pulling myself back because I can get drunk and have real quick off this energy.
Look, where are your hands? Where are your hands? Look, hands.
He's still rolling back because I know I'll be ready to jump or run. Like, girl, slow it down,
Like,
because I would get excited like that and go. And it was funny when you said what, because I asked you, I said, what is this drunk emotion? What is this?
and who's
Because low
emotionally
key,
sober? Who's
I
emotionally
knew,
drunk?
right? I knew low key that was talking about me.
Oh my God.
I had to make sense of this. Like, okay.
You slow down, you're like, wait a second. You writing like what? What? Oh God.
No, but
Oh, oh God.
all right, Dr. Wood, because I did have some more things to say, but we just went over our time as always.
Oh my God.
But you know what? You back with us tomorrow, right? You are back with
Uh-huh.
us
Yep.
tomorrow. And
Yep.
tomorrow is amazing show. It's about fueling the fear.
Ooh, the F word.
Yeah,
Ooh, feeling the F word. Ugh.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You ready
yeah.
for this? That's a lot.
Man, I'm ready. I am so ready for this because some of the little things that I have, you might be looking like, for real, for real. I want you to tell me like, now you're ready.
Ooh. Look, I'm ready. Go. Let's end this show right now. Let's get to. Let's hurry up. I'm gonna get to going right now. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, my beautiful people. I want to thank you all for just joining us today on this enlightening conversation here with Dr. Will. We can go on and on and on with these conversations. I did have some actionable tips for you, but I'll save them. I'll save them, for a later date. But before we leave, do you have any last words, Dr. Will, that you want to say?
Be kind to yourself and heal always.
I like that. I like that. Again, thank you for joining us, Dr. Will. I would definitely can't wait for tomorrow's topic. It's going to be hot, crazy. Talking about fear,
Mm-hmm.
because I need people to
Mm-hmm.
see it in a different aspect, a
Oh,
different
we're gonna
perspective.
change that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. We're gonna change that.
I
We're gonna
need
change
that to
that.
happen. I need that to happen. As I always say, be good to one another in yourselves and always keep it sexy. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Send a light, love, and prayers.